You're listening to a New York Jets episode of the Jacob Valk Show. He's breaking down the team's latest goings-on as only he can. Follow him on Twitter at RealJacobValk. Here he is, Jacob Valk.
Hello, Jets fans! Welcome to another New York Jets episode of the Jacob Valk Show. I am the Jacob Valk, except no imitation. You may expect me to be really upset, to be screaming like a maniac. I'm not going to do that. And it has nothing to do with wanting to keep my blood pressure in check. It just has to do with the fact that how can I get upset at the Jets getting blown out by the Patriots? Did I expect them to get blown out like this? No, absolutely not. This is without question one of the worst games in Jets history, and there have been a lot of them. But it's against the Patriots in Foxborough. What did you expect? Why did you think this team would be any different? Coming off a bye week, they'll fix their first quarter woes. They'll score some points. They'll get a lead. You watch, they're going to be a different team. No, of course not. I mean, this game was over in the first quarter. It really was. The Patriots go down the field in like no time flat, score a touchdown. Jets go 3 and out. Patriots go right down the field again, score another touchdown. Missed field goal by the Jets. You knew they were losing. You knew it would be ugly. Again, did I think it would be this bad? Absolutely not. And you have a right to be upset about it, but what's the point? Nothing's going to change. This is the freaking Jets we're talking about. They're an inept organization run by an inept GM who hired a head coach that hired an offensive coordinator that doesn't know what on earth he's doing, and the head coach isn't without blame here either. This defense looks really good to start out the season. Like, the eye test doesn't lie. They were playing really well. Some people got upset at them for how they played against the Titans. They could have been better, but they did sack Ryan Tannehill 7 times. And the Jets won that game. I couldn't get too upset. But they got destroyed by the Falcons in London, and now they just got destroyed by a bad Patriots team. Tom Brady isn't playing quarterback anymore. There's no Edelman. There's no Gronk. There's no Welker. The only people left from the glory years are the coaches. I got news for you. Bill Belichick isn't putting on pads. The Patriots are a bad team, and you give up 54 points? No team in the NFL has given up that many points this year in a single game. Congratulations, Jets. You'll be first in something. This is the most points that the Jets have given up in a game since September 9th, 1979. Funnily enough, it was against the Patriots. They got destroyed 56-3. Steve Grogan threw 5 touchdowns. The Jets have been inept for a while. The Todd Bowles era, the Adam Gase era, those coaches never had their teams give up 50 points. It's nothing short of incredible. This Jets team has reached a new level of futility, something that they haven't accomplished in over 40 years. Giving up at least 54 points in a game. It's incredible. But again, how can I get upset? You had to know that something like this could happen. You have a GM that is without question the worst GM in the NFL and is right up there with Idzik in terms of bad Jets GMs. I'm sorry, he just is. This guy makes Mike McCagnon look like Weeb Eubank. No center, no right guard, no tight end, no backup quarterback, no depth. One of the worst rosters in the NFL. Oh my God, this guy trades away players and gets great draft capital. What on earth am I supposed to do with that? Draft picks are just pieces of paper. If you can't use them to put together a winning football team, it doesn't matter. And not for nothing, but we're 22 games into this guy's career as GM. Because 2019, that was Mike McCagnon's roster. Douglas had nothing to do with it. Alright, McCagnon put together that team that went 7-9. And realistically, Gase had more to do with that than Douglas. I mean, let's be fair. That 7-9 record is more on Adam Gase than is on Joe Douglas. Joe Douglas has been general manager of the Jets with the ability to put together a roster that is his own for 22 games. They have only won 3. They are 3-19 with this guy as GM. I mean, this guy had a golden opportunity to improve the team. Gobs and gobs of cap space, a bunch of draft capital, and this Jets team is playing just as bad, if not worse, than last year's Jets team. You want to tell me they have the quarterback? I have no idea what's going to happen with Zach Wilson. Of course the guy gets hurt. The offensive line is inept. They keep letting him get hit and hit and hit. There's only so much that the human body can take. I feel sorry for this kid. I really do. You see the talent. You see the potential. But would it honestly surprise you if he went the way of Darnold or Hackenberg or Geno or Sanchez or even Pennington, the supposed saviors, the franchise quarterbacks that are going to lead this team to the promised land, and they all failed? I'm not giving up on Wilson, but seeing him get hit like that, missing most of that game, you know, a competent team has a backup quarterback ready to go that gives you a chance to win. Say what you want about Geno Smith, but he gave the Seahawks a chance to win against the Rams and Steelers. Mike White didn't do that. Backup quarterback is the most underrated position in the NFL. You never know when you'll need one. And this guy comes in and throws 2 interceptions. Of course, his first ever pass in the NFL would go for a touchdown to Corey Davis. And then it's all downhill from there. Again, you had to know that this would happen. Here's my issue with Robert Saleh. This is my biggest issue with him. The notion that these guys, who we know aren't NFL players, can step in and hold their own, it just doesn't work. You tell these guys they aren't good enough to be starters. I'll go right up to every one of them right now and tell them they're not good enough to be starters. Do the Jets have anyone on this team that could start for a Super Bowl winner? Seriously. Becton, fine. AVT, fine. Corey Davis, fine. That may be it. That honestly may be it. 3 guys that maybe, just maybe, could be good enough to start for a Super Bowl winner. So to say that you're going to put these guys in and they'll hold their own and they'll give you a chance to win football games, it just doesn't work like that. Talent wins over everything in the NFL. And the Jets don't have the depth and they don't have the talent to win. You want to tell me that the C.J. Mosley injury defeated them before the opening kickoff? Okay. I agree with you that that's a big loss. But that's no excuse to give up 54 points. That's no excuse to have the Patriots run the ball up the middle basically every play and go for 12 freaking yards. Jameen Sherwood is gonna call plays. Del'Shawn Phillips is gonna come in. These guys aren't NFL players. Come on. The lack of talent on this roster is just incredible. You compare it to the Patriots roster that really doesn't have a lot of talent. Okay, yes, the Patriots are 3-4, but look at the 2 teams they've beaten this year. The Jets and the Texans, 2 of the worst teams in the NFL. They lost to the Dolphins, they lost to the Saints, they lost to the Buccaneers, and they lost to the Cowboys. They're not a good team. The New England Patriots are not good. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're ordinary. The New England Patriots are an ordinary football team. So for the Jets to get blown out twice in 6 weeks by this no longer Tom Brady-led Patriots team shows you how inept they really are. My friend John said he had an extra ticket to the Jets game next week against the Bengals. He asked me right after they beat the Titans if I wanted to go. I said yes. I said I would go. Man, I really hope he forgets to ask me for money. I really hope he forgets to send me that ticket. I really hope he forgets to ask me again if I want to go. Can I back out? No, I really can't. I said I would go. If he forgets, okay, I'm not going to remind him. But boy, I'll tell ya, I'm not going to go out of my way to remind him to send me the ticket to that game. This team is a joke. This team is an embarrassment. This team was supposed to show progress over one of the worst Jets teams ever, a team that went 2-14. It wasn't a high bar to clear. all we wanted was progress. All we wanted was for the Jets to show that they have the ship pointed in the right direction. They don't. This team is no better than last year's team. Let me ask you something. How do you feel about Adam Gase right now? Think about what you just saw. You saw the Jets give up 54 points, something that they never did under Gase, and Sam Darnold just got benched. It's true what I was saying last year, that what happened wasn't all on Gase. The percentages of the blame, I put most of it on Douglas, then Darnold, then Gase. What you've seen through the first 7 weeks of this season shows that I was right. Everything that I said was right. I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I'm just saying the people who looked at Joe Douglas as the savior and the people who looked at Sam Darnold and saw a good quarterback and saw Adam Gase as the second coming of David Shula have been proven wrong. This guy isn't the big bad wolf. I'm not saying that the Jets should bring him back. I'm just saying that the root of the problem, Joe Douglas, is still there. And there's no way for the Jets to get out of this mess. They gave Douglas a huge contract to leave the Eagles. They let him bring in his own head coach, bring in his own quarterback. You've got to give these guys time to work. But the early returns, 19 games, only having 3 wins, can't make you confident in this guy. I'll go right up to this guy if I see him at MetLife Stadium next week, and I will tell him how much of a failure he is. And I will say it to every single person in that locker room. I'm done. I'm done watching losing football. You're expecting me to take time out of my day to watch you? You're expecting me to go out and buy tickets, buy merchandise, buy concessions, buy parking? Show improvement. Show progress. Because this guy lied to us. This guy lied to all the Jets fans. I'm the right guy to right this ship. Put your faith in me. We'll get this fixed. I have a plan. I'm going to build from the line of scrimmage out. What the hell are you talking about? You're going to build from the line of scrimmage out. The Patriots ran up the middle every play. This guy's an idiot. My dead grandmother can run the Jets better than this. 3 wins through his first 19 games when having total control of the roster. Here's the worst part. You can't fire him. You can't fire the GM after his head coach has coached 1 year and his quarterback has only played 1 year, because then the new GM is going to come in and hire his own coach and bring in his own quarterback. You talk about a sideways move? That's like the textbook definition of a sideways move. It may even be a backwards move. I just don't know how the Jets can dig out of this hole. It's easy to say that when Wilson produces, like we all know he's capable of producing, the Jets will turn it around. But it's a very tall ask for Zach Wilson or Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or Kyler Murray or Justin Herbert or Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, whatever quarterback you want to say, to put up 55 points. This defense is so bad that we need you to put up 55 points to win. No one could do that. We let Mac Jones throw for 300 yards against us. We let Brian Hoyer engineer a touchdown drive. Save us. Save us. Put up 1,000,000 points. It doesn't work like that. We talk about the offense needing to change things up. The defense needs to change things up. The sad part is, though, there's not much they can do. It's not like Douglas is going to trade a bunch of picks to bring in better defensive players. It's not like he's going to sign a bunch of free agents to improve the defense. They're stuck with these guys. The Jets' defense is probably going to continue to be bad. Realistically, the only thing that we can hope for as Jets fans is another high pick for the Seahawks to keep losing, for the Panthers to keep losing, because the Jets have the Seahawks as first this year and the Panthers second this year. Trade whoever you can for draft picks. Literally, no one's untouchable. Maybe Becton, maybe AVT, obviously Wilson, but that's it. Quinnen Williams can definitely be traded. Foley Fatukasi can be traded. Sheldon Rankins can be traded. If it doesn't hurt the Jets too much with the cap, John Franklin Myers can go. I could even be talked into trading Corey Davis. Alright, the Jets really only have those 3 building blocks. Wilson, Becton, and AVT. Once we get to the end of this terrible season, another dark chapter in Jets history, go out and be aggressive in free agency. Even be aggressive in making trades for veterans, okay? I'm sick of the losing. I want to see some progress. I want to see this team actually fight for a playoff spot and not have their season be over in October. Can we get to the end of the World Series before we say that the Jets are definitively not a playoff team? Please? Can that happen once? Is Joe Douglas going to accomplish that? I don't think so. How long does he have left? I don't know. The Jets' hands are kind of tied. Is Robert Saleh a good coach? I'll say this. He's got to take over play calling. Obviously, let LaFleur continue to call the offense. Even though I don't think the Shanahan offense is going to work, it's incredibly overrated. I've said that 1,000,000 times. But Robert Saleh needs to call the plays on defense. It never should have been Jeff Ulbrich. You want to right the ship? You want to see progress? You don't want another 2-win season? Robert Saleh better call the plays on defense. And Zach Wilson, please, 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 come back soon. But don't come back until you're 100%. I don't want you rushing to come back during a lost season. I don't want you not at 100%, taking another hit, and then you're out for the year. Or worse. Buckle up, Jets fans. You've got 10 more weeks of this garbage to go. You'll get another Jets show next week. You'll get a Brooklyn Nets show tomorrow night. Regular episodes of the Jacob Valk Show come your way every weekday afternoon. Until next time, I'm Jacob Valk, and always remember, if you disagree with me, you're wrong.